Good morning. Welcome to the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. Whether you here are in person or online, we welcome you to this glorious day we have before us that is revealing itself to be a wonderful day. We're so happy you're with us today. And we have an excitement, a new singer today, Cricket. I think you'll enjoy her. We've been listening to her warm up and we're excited to have her. So please welcome Cricket Garrett.
Please sing along. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive more good. I am open to receive. I am ready. I believe. I am open to receive more good. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive wisdom. I am open to receive. I am ready. I believe. I am open to receive wisdom. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive. I am ready. I believe. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive. I am ready. I believe. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive wisdom. I am open to receive more good.
It's a beautiful Cricket. You have a nickname of Joyfully Cricket.
Yes.
And I understand that now completely.
Thank you.
So thank you. So welcome to everybody. If this happens to be your first time, it's hard to tell because you're all wearing masks. So, but do know that we are a spiritual community that is here for you, and that we have classes and events that are opportunities for you to step into your own truth, your own wisdom. So thank you for being with us today and trying us out. We like to begin each service by saying our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look up on the screen and read with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. So good to have everyone here today. Just before we get started with the rest of our service, I want to let you know a few announcements that are important. And most of all, I want to make sure, if you haven't heard for the last month and a half, me talking about it, but the Sip and Savor is this coming Saturday. So now or never getting your tickets. They'll be more expensive at the gate. I encourage you to go online and purchase your tickets. Your purchases, either the tickets or the auction, help us continue to foster an inclusive environment, raise awareness, assist challenged individuals and families in removing barriers to a happy, abundant life through our speakers, our presentations, our services, our classes, workshops, which many of them are now bilingual, which we so appreciate. Imelda, the work she's doing, and Martha as well. And also mentorships and scholarships of emerging leaders of underrepresented groups. So all of this for this one event. So I'm so glad you're a part of it. Karen's going to be meeting with people who are interested in volunteering and help putting you into categories of what to volunteer right after the service. I saw her out. She's got her big whiteboard there. And also, if you would prefer just to buy tickets here today, you can do that. You don't, or you can go online, either one. But we have the way for you to buy those tickets today if you want to do that. It's still the pre-event discount right now. And I do want to talk a little bit about the event itself. That's important. First of all, we're starting at 2:30 with some very prestigious wines that we're pouring, including Reed Family Vineyards, Stag's Leap, Nord Estates, Tulaque, Green and Red, Adorabella, Amazetta. So all of these are, all for your price of your ticket. There's going to be food. And if you're not a drinker, we have sparkling water and iced teas as well for you. So there's something that you can fill your glass up with. So we're excited about that part of the event. And it's an in-person event. So we're going to be wearing masks, but we're going to be connecting. Obviously, you can take your mask down to drink and eat and things like that, and be present with people. And then at 4:00, we're starting the program. And the program is going to be that includes, first of all, Brad Wagon-Connect is here this morning, County Board of Supervisors, and his work as a mental health advocate, an advocate for homeless people, has been extraordinary. So we want to honor him. Former Mayor Jill Teckel and all the work she's done for this beloved community, as well as Maria Cineros, who's the principal of Valley Oak High School, an alternative high school here in town. JT Thompson, who started the Napa Black History Month celebration, and Charlie Toledo, who's the Soskull Intertribal Council executive. So we're going to honor all those people and really lift them up and give them a chance to talk about what they're doing. And then at 4:30, we start our live auction. And I realized I jumped ahead of myself, didn't I? Okay, let's go backwards then. So before all this, I get so excited about Saturday, I forgot that Wednesday of this week starts the silent auction. So before the pre-event's going to happen, we're going to be doing the silent auction that starts on Wednesday at 5 p.m. We're going to go live. And anytime during that time, you can bid on items that are in silent auction. And there's some amazing things, gift certificates to Zuzu, to Small World, and beautiful art and jewelry and home decor, if you just want to stroll through the rest of those. And just many different kinds of wine that are there. Beautiful. And we have an unusual amount of art this year that's just gorgeous. But also gift certificates and, like I said, purses and jewelry and different things like that. So we're excited about that all. And then we're going to have the program at 4, and at 4:30 we start the live auction. And during the auction, we're going to have a win a spin. So we're going to do it by the number or name you are, and we're going to spin it. And if it lands on you, then you win your choice of prizes. It could be a bottle of wine if you're a drinker. If you're not, then there will be another item for you to be able to choose from. So stay tuned. And then during the live auction, we have a limo tour by Mike Ward. Is he here? I think he might be outside. He was here earlier this morning. He's going to be your tour guide. You're going to go to 2 different wineries, total price of around $1,200 value at. So we're going to do that in the live auction. The timeshare to Mexico valued around $700 to $800, I think. And then also a certificate for a bottling event at the Reed Family Vineyards, Magnum of wine. We're also probably going to do a collection to build your wine storage if you want to, your own wine vault, and then also some jewelry. So that's all during the live auction. So it's all really exciting. Now, if you are a person, and especially speaking to online people who are not sure about about in-person events, all of this is going to be online as well. So not only are you going to have the silent auction, but starting at 4, we're going live. We're doing the program live, and we're also doing the live auction online, and you can bid online. So last year's event was all online. So if you were part of that, you know that it works well. So we just have to now, if you prefer to do it that way, you can do it that way. We're asking, once again, if the ticket price gets in your way of your budget right now, please let us know also, because we want your attendance. I don't want that to be the reason you don't show up. But if you're not sure about in-person events, or you're out of town and you'd like to participate, there's ways to do that. So please be a part of this in some way. We're excited about the event in so many ways. The main part of it is we're raising funds, but the main intention of it is to celebrate cultural diversity. And we're going to do that in every way we can. So the other announcement, everything else pales in comparison after this. But if you're interested in practitioner studies, there's a link online to be able to sign up for that. That starts a week from this Tuesday. And then we have certain ongoing events all the time, including Course in Miracles, meditation in Spanish and English on Wednesday. We have a recovery group on Sunday evenings that's a Dharma recovery group. And then we also have our Spanish services on the second and fourth Sunday, which is today, right? Today is one of your days. So you're doing double duty today. So thank you, Imelda, for everything you do. So, all right, that's enough of me. So let's have some more music, Cricket. Thank you for being with us today.
And I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there. You are a part of it. And I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, take a breath. Revolving tide, creating life. You are the one, I am the one. Revolving tide, healing life. You are the one, we are one. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, take a breath. Revolving tide, creating life. You are the one, I am the one. Revolving tide, healing life. You are the one, we are one. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, my lovely community. Always, it's a pleasure to be with you. Even though my stomach shrink, usually Reverend Jay send us, the email with all the information, with the who is going to be on platform, which practitioner is going to be. And when I read my name, comes to but sometimes I forgot that God, it is guiding me and holding me. And when I was thinking what I want to share with you today, I was asking God, what I can share with them today. And I was working. Actually, I was working, doing my things and talking with God. And I make a little silence. And the word that it comes to my brain, it was celebrate. Celebrate. Because right now, it's not a really good news to discuss with someone else, It's not a really good news to enjoy with someone else. I know Science and Mind teaches us, be the positive or be the good things in the middle of the hard things. But the reality is nothing outside, in the world. And that's why that is really important. Celebrate, celebrate life today. We don't need to have a birthday or a reason to celebrate just because we have a life and you have family and you have friends. So celebrate the friendship today. Celebrate with your family. Celebrate yourself. If you don't have no one in your life right now, you can have a cup of coffee or enjoy dinner, whatever you're doing. Celebrate, make a celebration, because we don't know how long or how much time we have in this world. Today we are here. We see each other. We are healthy. We are okay. We have a community that support us. So the important thing for me to share with you today is celebrate. And also forgive and forget. It's not time to resignation. It's not time to waste our life or our time thinking in what happened, What are I going to do? What are I going to do to solve things? What are I going to do to be myself and be nice with others? And respect, because it's normal in family have differences. We say in Mexican, I don't know, it is sense in English, but we said in Spanish, if we are the brothers that don't fight, they're not brothers. If we don't fight, we're not brothers. We don't sister and brothers. So I don't know, it makes sense in English, but it's normal. Have differences. It's normal. Fight sometimes. But it's not normal. Live separate. It's not normal. Live separate. So, and this morning, I invite you to celebrate with yourself, celebrate in your inner, and celebrate with the people that is close from you. And it's time to pray. And I invite you to close your eyes and relax. And if you want to open your hands in the position to receive. I invite you to breathe deeply. Recognizing God in this moment. Recognize the peace and love. And recognize the celebration. The life. Knowing and feeling and understanding that we are one with God. That we are together. That we are good. That we are love. Love, love, love. Y es en ese momento que reconozco una sola mente, un solo Dios, la presencia, la divinidad, como un solo ser. Reconozco a Dios en mi diario vivir y en tu diario vivir. Sabiendo así que cada uno vivimos divinamente guiados, conducidos por el amor. El amor, el amor. Y juntos decimos, y así es, amén. And so it is, amen.
When they said you couldn't do it, when they said you wouldn't win, did you take it for the answer and not trust the voice within? How can they know which way your wind blows? Look inside of you for the truth, the voice inside of you, the calling from within will guide you on your path to heaven. When they tell you life is empty, when they tell you love is pain, can you feel the heart that's aching and the fear that sounds like blame? How can they know which way your wind blows? Look inside of you for the truth, the voice inside of you, the calling from within will guide you on your path to heaven. See yourself as if there's nothing to it. See yourself as if it's already done. And see yourself as if you've already been through it. And you've won. When you think you can do it, and you know you will win, you align with life that breathes you, and the strength alive within, and you will know how strong your wind blows. Look inside of you for your truth, the voice inside of you, the calling from within will guide you on your path to heaven. 'Cause how can they know which way your wind blows?
Wow, once again, beautiful. Is that your own song?
Yes.
Wow. All of them are. I knew the earlier ones were. They're beautiful. I like that about we know the way our winds blow and not be concerned about other people, what they think, that we know the truth of ours. And that fits well with my topic today, that goes with the reaching higher theme that we have this month, that is about a transcendence and an understanding within ourselves of the truth. And it's based on the movie Soul. If you haven't seen that, more and more as I go into this month, I'm going to be doing some letting you know about the plot. So if you're interested, you should watch it this week, because I get more into it next week. But The theme today is that between the great before and the great beyond is now. I don't think it's anything to reveal too much if you haven't seen it, because the trailers talk about this, that Joe Gardner, the main character, is finally, his big dream was to be a jazz musician and not be stuck being a middle school teacher of a band and having to deal with kids that don't really know much about instruments. But he finally gets his big break and gets to play with Dorothea Williams, I think is her name. And he's all excited about this, but he's got his head up in the clouds and ends up in an accident and dies and goes to the great beyond. Now, we all don't know what's there next, but this great beyond, and it's illustrated in this, is a little conveyor belt that goes into the light. Anybody that you hear about near-death experiences, people are going to the light. I don't think anybody's seen the conveyor belt, but who knows, right? But he goes, no, wait, because he feel like he finally gets to live, and it's his chance. And what's ironic about Joe is he was so focused on the future of becoming this jazz musician that he missed a lot of things in his life. And now suddenly he gets this opportunity to be this jazz musician, and he's missing the things around him, and he has this accident because he's not paying attention. So he starts in this conveyor belt up to the great beyond, and he starts running backwards down it because it's not his time to die, he says. He's just now has the chance. He hasn't yet lived, which is true, but it's not necessarily about jazz, maybe. But he manages to jump off that and end up in the great before. This is how they depict the great before. In other words, young souls that are waiting to incarnate onto the planet. And there's really this hole where when they're ready, they jump into the hole and they land on Earth. It's really a cute animation of it, but it also gets you to think, how do we prepare before we come here? So he ends up as a mentor of a young soul named 22, who's had a number of mentors, including famous people like Mother Teresa and Albert Einstein, and none of them have been successful in mentoring her because she's kind of resistant to people. But I think a lot of that is because they're telling her how it worked for them. It was their wind blowing and not her wind blowing, and she needed to find her own wind blowing. And so what's ironic, though, is this how they continue to, as a vehicle, to consider about our purpose and our passion and our intention, so we can kind of use it to bring the truths out in this way. I know there have been significant times in my life, either because of a certain age, like 18 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, kind of those decade birthdays, where you look back on your life and you make certain changes. I know right before I turned 50, I was 48, I started ministerial school because it had been a dream all my life, and I kept putting it off. When the kids get older, when they're grown, well, there was no excuses because my youngest was a senior in high school, and so I there were no excuses left. And I'm so grateful I did that. And also around certain significant losses in my life. When my father died, when a high school friend of mine died, other significant losses, I became more intentional about relationships, about paying attention to gratitude and awe, and yet it fades over time. It has for me. I don't know about you, but I've heard other people, even near-death experiences. I've heard people that they become more intentional, but it fades over time. So how do we keep that alive in us? Now, it's natural for us to contract and expand, to contract and express ourselves more fully, the yin and yang of life. But my concern is sometimes, for me, I stay in that contraction too long, especially during this time of COVID. It's easy to stay in that contraction, that we get into a routine of our lives, or out of fear about what our next steps may be, that we stay in that contraction. So it's this willingness to find ourselves in something greater. And for Joe, he really didn't have it. Here he is working with 22 all of a sudden. He thought he was going to have this great life. And that suddenly he's scrambling to find what his truth is. There was a man named John Mundy who wrote a book about the Course in Miracles, and he said, awareness brings something of another dimension to the three-dimensional human being. In this awareness, there's wholeness. In this awareness, there's a totality. In this awareness, there's one life and one God. So we can find this when we're mindful, but if we're not paying attention to life, sometimes we forget that. I attended a memorial service a number of years ago, and the officiant read this poem by Linda Ellis called The Dash. It's fairly common, so you might have heard it, but it came back to my mind this week. And what her experience was, she was working for a company, a large corporation, and a lot of the people in there were so focused on making a living, they weren't living. They weren't on their life. And one particularly woman she met who was diagnosed with a terminal illness wrote this note about it. Regrets, I have a few. Too much worry about finding the right husband and having children, being on time, being late, and so on. It doesn't matter. It all works out, and it would have worked out without the worries and the tears if I would have known then what I know now. But I did, and so do you. We're all going to die. Stop worrying and stop loving and living. So that was her note that inspired this poem that she wrote. That was what this officiant at the memorial I read about the dash. So the dash is literally from the date of your birth. If you think of when it's written out on a pamphlet or something, or memorial note, the date of your birth, dash, the date of your death. The important part is the dash in between and how we live. So this is her poem. For that dash represents at the time, all the time they spent alive on the earth, and now only those who love them know what that line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard, or the things you'd like to change, for you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation, more love, show appreciation more, and to love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If you treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, when your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you lived your dash? Though it's cute and yet profound, how we live our dash. Often when I give memorials, particularly for a person who died at a young age, I talk about our life as being a metaphor like a day at a park. How when we as children or families go to the park, that some days are sunny and glorious, and we spend all day at the park, and we play, we eat, we even take a nap, and we enjoy that day. It's a long day into the evening. But some days at the park, you go ready for the picnic. You go ready to play, and the weather turns. And you can't stay there any long. It's shorter. Your time in the park is short. So some people's lives are cut short because of who knows why. And it's the hardest to let go of that because we have expectations of this person. So my point is, if your dash is shorter, you don't know how long your dash is, actually. So to live fully and completely in every moment we have. There will be times of contraction, but don't let it endure. Don't let it stay as so much it becomes a routine. To keep in this place of awareness, as Joe Mundy talked about, that's the awareness of wholeness and totality and oneness and awe and gratitude and love. Find those places, and if you can't find it, find a friend to help you find it. Get the support you need to find it. So the way I look at it, I think the importance of this dash that we talk about, I want to go back to the life of Joe Gardner, because I think he tried to live his dash and he was missing a few things in doing that. And one thing that he found along the way was to change his perspective. So while he was in that great before and he befriended 22, they finally were able to get her qualified to go incarnate, but they rushed it a little bit. He tried to go down with her to get back into his life and her life, and they ended up, she went into his life as Joe Gardner, and he went into the cat. And of course, this creates much comedy that Pixar has added to so many of their great films. But what's great about that is he gets to see his own life from the cat's perspective. It gave him a new perspective, and he realized how many things he was missing in relationships, in people, in little things around life that she saw with new eyes, as the Buddhists would call it, beginner's eyes, right? So may we be open to see things with new eyes, new ways of seeing things. She also was honest and authentic. He wasn't willing to be that because he was always scared of people's reactions. And she was willing as him just to say the way they are. And she was also willing to be present with other people that realized that he was making a profound difference in people's lives as the middle school teacher that he didn't realize. That he was touching lives. And this whole thing about living authentically. I love the work of Brené Brown. And her book, just the title of the book, The Power of Vulnerability. There were many years in my life I wouldn't have put power and vulnerability in the same phrase. It just like, no, if you want to be powerful, you got to, keep your cards close to you, right? Not reveal things. So you don't want to show your feelings or your emotions or be vulnerable in any way. People take advantage of you then. But her work by research, she's a researcher. She said, that's the last thing I want to be is vulnerable. But her research shows that being vulnerable leads to a greater experience of life. I love this quote by her that she says, I don't have to choose extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. And this is what Joe Gardner found, but not as himself, but as his cat, able to observe his life. He found that she was being grateful as him and paying attention ways that he wasn't before. She goes on to say, you either walk inside your story and own it, or you stand outside your story and hustle for your worthiness. I love that phrase, hustle for your worthiness. I spent a lot of time doing that because I didn't want to show my real self, but I spent a lot of energy trying to prove my worthiness when really my worthiness was inside and my authenticity and my realness in life. She said, I want to be in the arena. I want to be brave with my life. And when we make the choice to dare greatly, to be vulnerable, we sign up to get our assets kicked. I think she used a different word, but from the pulpit, I'm going to say assets kicked, okay? She's from Texas. We have a different way of talking there, but for now, I'm going to say our assets kicked. We can choose courage and we can choose comfort, but we can't choose both. Not at the same time, comfort or courage. When I see people stand fully in their truth, or when I see someone fall down, get back up and say, darn, that really hurt. But this is important to me, and I'm going in again, going back into the arena. My gut reaction, says Brené Brown, is to say, what courage. Way to stand in your truth. Way to go. So know that we need people in our lives when we get knocked down to also witness and encourage us to get back up and step back in being our true self. I have found those kind of friends don't encourage me when I'm being a false self. Just doesn't happen. But they will encourage me when I'm being my true self. I remember I led teen camps for 10 years. And I remember, I'll tell you one thing, teenagers are bullshit detectors in seconds. And if you are not authentic, they're going to turn on you, I guarantee. And I was already wanting to be authentic. It was on the edge, but I didn't. But when I stepped into being authentic, they were right with me, even though I was 30 years older than they were. They could tell the difference. And then I realized, Jesus, everybody can tell the difference, can't they? Just, you're not willing to tell me that. Teenagers are just willing to tell me. That's the only difference. You know when I'm not being authentic. You know when you're not being authentic. So to step into the arena and have friends encourage us to get back in there and be real and fight for what is true. To be, as Imelda said, to celebrate life. It doesn't have to be hard. It is a joyful experience when we're being ourselves. And what I also know that Joe Gardner taught me is revealing and healing is only in the now. So this title between the beyond, the great before and the great beyond is the now, is the dash, is our opportunity to heal and real. I know that happiness never happens in the future. It's always right here where we find this healing and revealing. There's a funny story. Somebody told me that their father, whenever as a kid would ask from the back seat, "Are we there yet?" And his father, being, dad, sometimes said, "No, son, we're always here." Which is true, though. We're never there. You'll never get there. Your happiness doesn't lie out when this happens or as soon as. It happens here. We're always here. And the truth of our beingness opens up to greater awareness. The other night, I think it was Wednesday night when that big storm came through, and people were a little afraid of it because it might bring dry lightning, which might bring fires. We've been there before. And yet that's worrying about the future. If it happens, it happens. I'm not saying it couldn't have happened, but to be present when the rain did come, it smelled wonderful. And the lightning that I saw and the thunder that woke me up at first I was going, "Oh, I don't want to be awake," but I was going, "Oh, wow, that's a beautiful sound." Or we don't get that rolling thunder very often. And to experience that. And if it causes fires, then we'll deal with that when it comes. But be present with what is. I was touched by so many across the country commemorations of 9/11 yesterday. I don't know if you caught any of them. They were constantly online, and some beautiful commemorations and talks and music that was played. I went to the one at 11 o'clock that was here and that the city sponsored, that Brad was part of. And thank you, Brad, for your words were beautiful yesterday. And then we also had one last night at 6 p.m. that was the Interfaith Commemoration. And that was wonderful too. We had, to your left is a woman from the Quaker community, in the upper right, a person from the Buddhist community, and the lower right, a person from the Muslim community here. And we also had from somebody from the Jewish community. So they all offered prayers or spoke, and were just, it was very touching and very warm. And it was into the evening. And so it was as the sun was setting. It was very profound. But the one, all of them were touching, but I was struck with the gal on the left-hand side. Her name is Paulette, from the Quaker community. I always feel very attuned to the Quaker community, their focus on peace and love, and some of my favorite authors are Quakers. But she ended with a statement, a quote from William Penn that said, "Let's see what love can do." And I love that statement. Let's see what love can do. And just that understanding and that compassion that we have, that we always have opportunities for compassion. I also was touched by a television, or actually this was online, NPR, very touched by something they set up, where they set up a phone booth in New York City. And what they did is they invited people who had lost a loved one in 9/11 20 years ago. There's a reason I'm not showing the video clip, because it was, I think we'd all be bawling, because it was very touching. They were invited to leave a voicemail for the one they lost. And at first it seemed a little, they were a little self-conscious because they knew they were being filmed even at a distance. But, it's kind of weird. But as they started talking to them, to their loved one, you could tell it wasn't the first conversation they had with them. And it may have been the first one in a while. But if you lose anybody close to you, I don't know about you, but I have many conversations with them. I still have conversations with my father, and he died 40 years ago, So it was and what I, across all of them, so there were a number of people there. Neil, for his friend, Trish, her husband, and her father, Walter and Matthew, both their father, and Sam, his cousin, who he called his sis. And what I gathered from across all the conversations is, first, the most obvious one is, when you have a big loss, you never get over it. You integrate it into a new normal. And the new normal for many of them they were more caring, more loving, more intentional in their lives. And there was also sadness and anger over the years, over this 20 years. And when they were talking on the phone, some of that sadness and anger came back up. Perhaps that's why some people don't like to think about a big death. Again, they don't like to bring it up because it brings up sadness and anger. And, but also they're aware, looking back, that how much healing had happened. And they also, all of them, realized they were not alone. They knew it, but maybe they forgot it. That not only did they have what I would call their ancestors, which include this loved one that passed before them, but they have something spiritual, something greater in their lives and awareness. So to note that you are never alone in this way. The truth of who you are and the magnificence you are is always available. And it was just touching to see them be willing to step into that and to remember in that way and be blessed in this way. The other thing I've learned from Joe Gardner is how to live, what to do with this wild and precious life. And actually this quote comes from Mary Oliver, if you've read her poem, The Summer Day. It's just a beautiful thing. And at the end, she asks, what do you want to do with your one wild and precious life? So wild meaning it's not predictable, but that it is precious. And I think this kind of question wakens us up to realize the opportunities we have in life, to pay attention to those people around us, and to create a network of people that are going to support us to be authentic, support us to be true, to come from the heart and seek this gratitude and love and joy in our lives in so many ways. This common humanity we are faced in. Joe in the movie says, life is full of possibilities. You just need to know where to look. Don't miss out on the joys of life like pizza, he said. But this is what he said from the great before, when he was trying to incarnate into the life and talking to 22. I think he missed the idea of even a slice of pizza or the preciousness of life. He didn't realize it till it was gone, until he was trying to teach 22 why life was so important. And yes, there was a little bit of a selfish thing because he wanted to get back to his life. And sometimes we act out of our own smallness, and we can recognize that when we step back a little bit and observe ourselves and be aware of that. And know the greater truth that's coming through us, and allow this precious life to be seen and felt and experienced. As Kierkegaard says, life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. The reality to be experienced in this and every day. So I just come back today to this one quote by William Penn. Let's see what love can do. You know, it's a wild life and it's a precious life. We can't always predict everything going on. Lord knows that. And let's see what love can do. I think it's a transformative energy in this life. Let us go to prayer. We know in this moment there is only God. That is all we need to know. We know that we are one with all that is, with the Spirit that is within us, that is within everyone here, everyone in this world, and in all of life. And it's this we connect to. This brings us to this preciousness of life, this sacredness of life, that the very ground that we stand on is sacred. Our very nature is sacred. We allow Spirit to be the courage within us to stay in that arena, even when we get knocked down. That we get back up and know that we are this truth. We are this power and this love. And we continue to see what love can do. For we know that is what Spirit is encouraging us and is the love through us, as us. And we're so grateful for this and know it is already so. And so it is.
How does the light move through you? What is the shining star that lights you? If you could write a song, would you sing that song all day long? If you could write a book, would you write that book as long as it took? If you know what makes your heart sing, do it now. If you could sail a ship, would you set out on a worldwide trip? If you could fly a plane, would the sky become your new domain? If you know what makes your heart sing, and the muse that pulls your heartstrings, do it now. If you dream it's possible, you can be unstoppable. If you could be more kind, would you feel peace of mind? if you had a skip in your step? Would you feel truly blessed if you know what makes your heart sing, and the muse that pulls your heartstrings, and the gift that lights your shining? Do it now. 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 How does the light move through you? What is the shining star that lights you?
Every song you've sung has just been perfect today. So I don't, Godsidence, right? Thank you. Thank you. This is a time in our service when we share of our abundance. So we appreciate any donations that you are offering online or through the week, or you've sent checks in. We appreciate your support of our vision and mission and our continuing work that we do. So we're so grateful for this. And there, if you're online, you'll notice several ways of donations. But for those who are here, you're welcome to contribute to the basket here, or there's also PayPal links and Breeze links, and we even have a text way to text your giving, so you can do that. But what I'd like to do is give you a moment just to reflect on your giving, and feel free to contribute as a step of your circulation, a step of your gratitude, to place it in the basket, either in the front or in the back. And also, while Cricket is playing another song here, to reflect on what love can do, giving love a chance.
I am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I sing thank you. Blessed be. I am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I sing thank you. Blessed be. Blessed be. Blessed be.
I thank you for today. Let's give her another round of applause. We just affirm that which has been given to us today and through the week or online. We appreciate these, and we know that it is part of the law of circulation. So we affirm that with the simple affirmation saying, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. So last week we had, we usually the first Sunday of the month we do birthdays and anniversaries, but we had a low attendance because I didn't realize how many Bottle Rock fans we had. Not only were some people avoiding traffic, but some of them were right in the middle of it out there. So, so I wanted to go ahead and give people an opportunity again to, if it's your birthday, if you have a birthday in September, please raise your hand. Oh, look at all these birthdays. That's amazing. And Dale, can you come up here for a minute? Dale has a special decade birthday. Now, we're not going to say what it is. I'm sure it's like, it's like 60, right?
No, I'm going to be 80 tomorrow. Thank you.
So we raise our, and anniversaries. I forget that. Any anniversaries in September. Okay, anniversary. And how many years was it last? 32. All right. All right. As well as we celebrate, it's anonymous, so you don't have to mention it. But if you are a recovery celebration, we also honor you as well. We know how difficult that is, and we honor you. But let's honor everybody right now. We raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And so it is. We also bless our children wherever they may be, near and far away, by simply saying, oh, that's a new one. There it is. We love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. That's lovely. So they're reaching higher too. That's a new one. That's great. And finally, our community affirmation. Repeat after me. Oh, sorry. Wrong thing here. It's not even here. I'll read it up here. I know it. Something wonderful is happening through me now. Right. You know it so well. I am led by spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And our closing song here.
With questions on my mind, I woke up today with the past I left behind. Somebody told me once I hold all the choice. I woke up today when I listened to the voice that said, don't go to sleep, child. Don't fight the cause. You know what's right. You've known it your whole life. Let go the fight and shine. I know what's right. I've known it my whole life. Let go the fight and shine.
Let's go shine. Thank you. Have a great week. Cards for people that are new out in the lobby as you exit. I forgot to mention that. What? And CDs for sale. I didn't even